Okay, let's take a look at number 14A on page 252. Excuse me. Okay, for each graph of a sinusoidal function, state the amplitude, period, phase shift, vertical displacement, domain and range, max value of y between 0 and 2 pi, and min value of y, and the value of x for which it occurs on the interval 0 and 2 pi. Okay, so here we go. The amplitude is the maximum plus the maximum minus the minimum divided by 2. Or we could say 3 minus a negative 3 divided by 2 equals 3. So the amplitude is 3. The period, okay. So to determine the period, I like to draw the midline. And the midline is max plus min divided by 2, which would be 3, plus a minus 3 divided by 2, which would be 0. So here is our midline. Now, if you see the graph, now recall that the sine function starts at 0, 0, right here, starts here. So we're looking at the midline where the sine function starts and drawing up a complete period. So here we would have from here to here, which would be pi over 4 and 9 pi over 4. So the period is 9 pi over 4 minus pi over 4, which is 8 pi over 4, or 2 pi. Now the phase shift, again, when you take a look at that midline, you can see the phase shift, which should start at 0, 0, shifts pi over 4 units to the right. So the phase shift from the start of the first cycle of the sine curve, it's to the right of the y-axis, and the phase shift is pi over 4. Vertical displacement, the midline is on the x-axis. There is no vertical displacement. Doesn't shift up or down. The domain and range. Well, the domain is x such that x is an element of all real numbers, can be anything positive or negative. The range is y is between negative 3 and positive 3. Okay. The maximum value of y and the value of x for which it occurs. Okay, so if we take a look, here is our maximum between 0 and 2 pi. So we're looking between 0 and 2 pi. So between 0 and 2 pi. So our max occurs right here, which is at the point 3 pi over 4 and 3. Okay, so it's 3 pi over 4, because here's here we have well, pi over 2. So this would be 3 pi over 4. It's divided into quarters. Or, yeah, hopefully that makes sense. This would be pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4. Okay, if we take a look here, between 0 and 2 pi, I better write this down. So we have values of y equals 3, x equals 3 pi over 4. X equals 3 pi over 4. The minimum value for which the interval occurs between 0 and 2 pi. So here we have between 0 and 2 pi, right there, around there. I think I've too far, but that's okay. So, excuse me, our minimum value is here. I'll mark it in a dark blue. It's right here. So my minimum value will be at 7 pi over 4 and negative 3. So y equals negative 3, x equals 7 pi over 4.